What, in your opinion, is causing so many health problems today?
In my opinion, huh? Well, from what I see, having worked in this field for about 44 of my 50 years in practice, the majority of what I see is caused in the dental office. The silver colored fillings are really mercury silver colored, so they're not really silver fillings, they're mercury fillings, and mercury appears to be a poison. At least everybody in science thinks so except dentistry. In fact, one of the interesting quotations from dentistry is, yes, mercury is the most hazardous metal on the planet. However, in the mouth, its toxic properties are rendered harmless. Now, I took a postdoctoral master's in immunology and toxicology for about 4 years, and I mentioned that to the professors there. And they got a real good laugh out of that and said somebody must have discovered alchemy, because wherever you put mercury, it kills. I was asking one of my professors in toxicology one time, EPA has a safe level and OSHA has a safe level and dentistry has a very high safe level. What is the safe level? And he looked at me, this was in front of class, so I was quite taken by his answer, because he started, well, doctor, I knew I was in trouble. He said, one atom can kill one cell. You tell me the safe level. There is no safe level. But why does dentistry use it? Because it's cheap and it's easy to place. What more could you ask for? I guess if you wanted to push it, really the filling is not the only thing that creates a problem. Actually in 1976, they came out with a new filling because of the ruckus that I was stirring up, saying mercury was coming out of the filling. They said it wasn't. It was easy to prove it did come out of the filling. So they came out, the American Dental Association paid for and developed and patented something called the high copper amalgam, which has about 33% copper instead of 3% copper. And they said no mercury can possibly come out of that. Well, copper increases the chemical and electrical reactions of anything it's added to. So this was actually tested scientifically and found that the new copper amalgam, high copper amalgam, put out 50, that's 50 times more mercury than the previous amalgam. So today, if you have one filling placed, that's like in 1975 having 50 fillings placed. So this is another reason we have a big overdose of mercury, and so for this reason it is called state of the art. Then we get into something else called root canals. And since 1927, when Coolidge said 97% of the root canals are successful, we have not found the definition of successful. In 1990, 92, 94, the Dental Association was talking about how sterile it was, that the dentists, and they'll say this today, that they can absolutely sterilize a tooth by using drugs, by using ozone, and all this sort of thing. Well, in our DNA laboratory, we test these things. And the sterile root canals, so far we have 700 that we have tested. And out of 700 are contaminated with some of the world's worst bacteria, the ones that give the worst diseases. So if you put those two together, this may be where a lot of the, at least the, what do they call them? The diseases of unknown etiology, which means we don't have the foggiest idea of what's causing it. Because medicine is taught to work from here up and from here down and from here to here. Refer that to the dentist, who is not taught toxicology, is not taught immunology, and yet your dentist is in control of your immune system. The immune system is primarily your white blood cells. And dental materials make your white cells go up or go down, or kill them, but whatever the dental materials do, they do not help you fight disease. So that, to me, is the primary area where we are receiving things that are not drug-related or alcohol-related or accidents. You know, that doesn't make you run off the highway into a telephone pole. But if you do get into an accident where there's a head trauma, the amount of mercury that comes out of the filling from a tap like that goes up into the brain, and you end up with neurological diseases. In fact, they found the number of fillings in your mouth is directly related to the amount of mercury in the brain, unless you've had a head injury. So if we look at diseases like multiple sclerosis, like Lou Gehrig's disease, where we're looking at neurological diseases, the first thing I ask now is, have you had a head trauma, a head injury within the last year or two? Because studies have shown from a pretty good blow to the head, the amount of mercury in the brain can go up 1,000 times higher than those who have not had a blow to the head. So there's no way you can guarantee that you're not going to have a head injury, but you can use a comment that Nancy Reagan said one time, and I thought, that is dumb. And yet I have repeated that statement over 1,000 times. Because Nancy Reagan, I think she was talking about drugs, she said, just say no. And if the dentist says they're going to put in a perfectly healthy silver filling or state-of-the-art high copper amalgam, just say no. You are in control of your body. So root canals are full of bacteria. Now they don't use gold crowns very much because gold's expensive, so they use nickel. Nickel is the #1 metal that produces cancer. Now, root canals can produce cancer too. So you put the two of them together and alter the cell membrane with the mercury, and it appears that it is practically impossible to catch cancer without a root canal, or certainly it is helped if you have root canals and the silver mercury fillings. And people say, oh, well, dentistry wouldn't use mercury anymore. Maybe 1,000 or 100 years ago they did, but not today. Oh yes, today dentists placed 100,000 amalgams.